Now, just a little presentation here. When you're involved in the design process in the furniture making or joinery or architectural joinery, whatever the case may be, you'll always be presented with problems that have to be solved. So the mind never kind of switches off, you're always on call. There was a guy back in the 14th century called Occam, and he was a theologian and a logician. And he came up with the dictum that they call it Occam's razor or Occam's razor. And it states that if you're presented with two propositions, the most obvious one is the best solution to it. So an example of that, say somebody has a headache, they might think then it's a brain tumour. Well, Occam's razor applied to that scenario would normally imply that the person has a headache rather than a brain tumour. Same thing applies, we can apply it to science, we can apply it to workshop practices as well. So there's always going to be solutions that we're always looking for to problems, and they're the things that keep guys like me awake at night, trying to solve a problem. So when somebody sees the end result, they don't even recognise it. In other words, once you don't recognise something, once the eye is happy, you know then that your solution is correct. However, in this case, an example of it, in my case, is I needed to make a door with a handleless door for a cabinet. So we have half it here with the scallop, so I'm okay, I'm happy with that. That in itself presented a problem because of the depth of the actual cut that was involved there. Now we got around that alright. The next part that comes up then is the actual handle. Now sometimes we're always inclined to think our fingers are curved, so the first thing we think about is the ergonomics of our physiology and the grip, the thickness of a finger to go in under there, about 12 mil you need to get a good grip, or to be able to catch it without any difficulty. So that has to be seamless. It always must seem seamless. And the obvious for that is to produce a profile there, as you can see, which will be curved. Sometimes that solution, while it solves the problem, it involves quite a lot of work just on the machine here from the point of view of this pressure fence. Anyway, it doesn't matter how I do it, but it'll do the job no problem at all. But I found that the curvature, the finger wasn't happy with the curvature. So I applied Occam's razor, the concept of that again, that sometimes the solution is counterintuitive. Now Occam's razor doesn't say that the simplest solution is the best. It says based on two propositions that the most obvious one is the best. And I found that to be the case here as well, that instead of having a curved profile, it came to me that once you put your fingers against something, anything, once you touch a surface, your fingers, surface touching there, your fingers have gone flat. That's the adaptability of our fingers. So, using that in mind and using Occam's concept, I produced just a sloped surface that the fingers would touch. And hey presto, it worked beautifully. Really, really happy with the result. That the fingers sit in there absolutely beautifully there. Much better than what you would imagine with a curve, that a curve would achieve. So I must say, happy with the application of Occam's razor to this problem. So that's your fingerless door panel, and that's Occam's razor, just to give you a flavour about what we guys in the workshop would use.